Mental health challenges among truck drivers can significantly impact their well-being, safety, and job performance. However, with increased awareness and access to mental health support, the industry can take steps to address these challenges and promote better overall health and well-being for drivers. Today, we will continue to discuss why you should care about truckers' mental health now. Also, you can watch part 1 of this video to learn more about the mental health struggles and experiences of truck drivers on the road.
Trucking has been one of the most toxic relationships I've ever been in.
Trucking is a love-hate relationship. It is definitely something I am incredibly passionate about, and an industry that definitely calls to me in many ways, and I love it. I find that it can be a very toxic relationship in the fact that there's already so much demand on us, and the ups and downs are so volatile in the industry. And a lot of us just get up the next day and say, let's do it again. But trucking hasn't been the only thing on my plate, and I know many drivers will also relate to this, that we have a lot of other things outside of just trucking. Trucking is just our job, even though it has to be a lifestyle for us. I got really burnt out. My mental health suffered. I was struggling to manage all the things that I had put on my plate. And as a young kid, I was taught a lot, like probably many boys are taught, to just suck it up, keep going, and keep pushing through. I don't think that's a bad mentality, but it starts to get bad when that's all you're doing and you're never dealing with anything.
I guess common things with trucking is nothing ever goes to plan. Like, we were supposed to get here, drop, hook to an empty that was already here on the yard, go ahead and go up to Flagstaff because we're on a time crunch, get to Flagstaff, get our load, and get out. I don't know. There's a lot that definitely is stressful and anxiety-inducing with trucking. And this job is hard enough as it is, with just the challenging situations that you're in and driving. You're not always parked at a truck stop at night. Like, you don't get the luxury of a shower every night. You don't have running water. You don't have hot food sometimes. It can be really cold at night if you're not idling your truck. It's just so much stuff. Like, I could go on for days. But the point I'm trying to make here is that having to deal with all of this on top of possible personal issues, life changes, just trauma, crisis, whatever, like all of that on top of an already super highly stressful job can really take its toll on somebody.
I think there's a lot of unseen problems that come with being a driver and being stuck in that truck for such a long period of time all by yourself with all these problems that you can't solve because you're just driving for hours and hours a day. And it's not uncommon for me to spend 3.5 months on the truck by myself with my thoughts, just over and over ruminating and the monotonous job, and it's like you can't escape them, and they're just amplified, and it's never ending, and it just feels like there's nothing you can do to help your situation because you're stuck driving the truck. You can't really do much to help your situation. It's a lot to handle, and it's hard to talk about.
I think this is the most wonderful part, just breathing and just remembering that you're part of something bigger. You're not just driving a truck. I think just allowing yourself to get out of the truck every once in a while really helps bring you back to understanding the cab isn't really there to trap you. It's there to help you accomplish a goal, whether that's to be financially stable or to travel around and do something you enjoy. If you love trucking, that's what it's for.
in trucking, have traditionally been very male dominated, and I started driving a truck almost exactly 34 years ago. I got my first commercial license in the winter of 1988, and every time we had something come up, you were expected to solve the problem. You're expected to just get up and go, and there has been the joke that is kind of reality in trucking is that you put on a cowboy hat and a pair of boots and get at her, and no fooling around. Like, you call up dispatch and say, I don't think I can make it. Well, you better make it. Weather's bad. I don't feel comfortable. Everybody else is making it. And no, that's been the whole mentality of trucking, is just suck it up, buttercup. And I really think that women coming into the industry have made the biggest difference in my career, because they've come in, and you can't push a woman like you can with a man, because we're wired a little bit differently. You can say to a guy, suck it up, buttercup, and just go for it. And they will try, because we have an ego. We have testosterone. We want to prove we are the man. I don't have any mental issues. I don't have any problems. I'm the man. It's a little tough to say that to a woman. And it's been great, because they've been pushing back at companies, forcing drivers to do things. Women will just say, I'm not putting up with that. And we should have learned that from women decades ago, right? We should have learned that. We should have been smarter, and women have been teaching us that. It's okay to stop and say, I'm not doing that, or I don't feel comfortable with that. It's not an easy line to walk always, but we have to do what works for everybody. And the mental health aspect is something that is still tough to get through with some companies. You can't use and abuse your drivers mentally and expect them to be happy employees. And there's a reason drivers are dying 16 years earlier. Yeah, because we've taken that attitude from companies and figure we just need to do what we need to do to get the job done. And we've sacrificed our mental health, we've sacrificed our physical health, we've sacrificed everything to do this job, which is ridiculous.
I completely agree, and I think that even goes in companies or just the industry as a whole, pushing people to, well, you can push through or you can do this. It kind of runs one in one with the whole identity of making drivers feel like they're just a number and not feeling like a person. And if the industry or certain companies actually treated their drivers like a person, they would realize everyone has different needs, everyone has different struggles.
I'm just stressed out with it. With this whole industry, you have to really make it what it is. It's something that's so inconsistent, but it's like inconsistently consistent, if that makes sense. And this is from an extremely rookie perspective. Since I think March 1st is my first time really doing over the road. And I don't even really consider it over the road. I do more regional than anything. Like, sometimes they pop me back home like once during the week, and then I'm home on the weekends. And when I say pop back home, that means we'll run around local, and we may leave dispatch out again the next day, like 8 o'clock in the morning. So you can get home and sleep in your bed like one night versus going out, dispatching out Monday morning and coming back Saturday morning. I personally don't like that. If I'm preparing myself mentally to be gone for a week, I want to know, don't surprise me and bring me back home for that one day, because then I'm not going to want to go back. It's just like the little intricate thing. Anything that I have an issue with in this industry is literally personal. I'm very transparent about my anxiety. So I have a lot of anxieties about finding parking, when it's time to shut down, getting lost on the GPS, dealing with the shipper receiver. A lot of these things give me anxiety from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep. I don't know how to fight those things. I don't know how to get over that hump with those things. I'll be very transparent about the things I struggle with. Like right now, I'm parked at one of those service plazas that are off the Pennsylvania Turnpike. And I keep seeing drivers that pull in and leave. And I don't want to go in there and ask them, is this overnight parking? Because I already got comfortable, you know what I'm saying? I took my contacts out, I got my basketball shorts on, my slides. I'm about to eat my dinner, and I'm looking down because I got to start at 3:30. But it's just stuff like that I wasn't prepared for. coming into this. I don't think nobody is. And honestly, it might be just normal stuff that everybody goes through, but I'm having like a real problem with it. And I don't know what to do. But I'm just gonna keep pressing on.
I'm not someone that's been a firm believer of the whole mental health cycle that's going on at the moment. However, of late, it has been affecting myself a little bit more than I ever imagined that it could. And I'm not suicidal or anything like that, but just the general strain of life, the cost of living, how stressful it can be, especially like when you've got a young family and you're trying to do your best as a parent and you're doing long hours, and then you've got to try and balance family, friends, and everything all into one. It can get quite overwhelming. And it wasn't until recent that I actually sat down and spoke to my partner about this and how much it is taking a toll on my health. And usually I'm the sort of person that would just go, do you know what, get over it, get on with it, toughen up, do you know what I mean, like, be a man. But it's not that easy sometimes. When you get in a state, if you've ever been a bit down or struggled, you kind of get self-absorbed, and it doesn't matter what anyone says or does, you know how you feel, and it doesn't matter that there's a war going on out there and there's people on the front line dying and they've got so much more struggles than you could ever imagine going through. But when you're in the moment, unfortunately, as people, we are very self-centered. It's just kind of, we think the whole world revolves around us. So we do get down and we don't really take these other things into consideration unless you really sit back and reflect, like I have. Now, this is a part of the job. It can get very lonely. It can get very tiring and stressful when you're doing long hours, you're going home, you're having something to eat, you're having a shower, you're going straight to bed, and then doing it all again the next day. Now, boo-hoo, some people would say, like, that is life. You do have to get up, brush it off, and crack on. But some people aren't that strong.